Sunday the 3rd of June 2011, this is Chris Reardon. Welcome to today's United Kingdom talk, and I have been cooking today, boys and girls. I have something to show you. I'm very proud of this. I do quite like doing cooking things. I find I don't really have the time to do stuff, you know, and what I do is pretty basic, I suppose. I used to do roast dinners and all that business, but since I stopped eating meat, I've kind of been going to the supermarket and buying these ready-made corn things like corn burgers. And I could do a corn burger, put that, it's very easy, put it under the grill and do some potatoes and root vegetables with that, that's fine. Corn, chicken and, chicken and mushroom pies, they're really nice. Again though, you know, take them out of the packet, the pies, put them in the oven, they're done. But today I've done something from scratch and I'm really proud of this. It's the first time I've done it. I have made, and I have it here to show you, boys and girls. What do you think of the show so far? Rubbish. Those of you see, if you're just listening to the show, you're missing all this. What I'm doing basically is holding a saucepan now, and I have made Quorn chili con carne. Now look at this. It's in. Can you see that? There it is. It's in the saucepan. It looks a lot redder. I mean, it is a very red colour, but it's more of a sort of rusty, browny, reddy colour. And in there is a packet of minced corn. There is a chopped up onion. Oh, it's still a bit hot. There's a whole tin of what are those things called? Red kidney beans. There's some tomato puree. And there's some tomato chili puree, and there's a pack of a little carton of chopped tomatoes, and there we are. Homemade chili con carne. Took about 30 to 40 minutes to make that from scratch. I have a habit of overcooking things, to be honest. However, it is already past lunchtime for me, and I've had it. Oh, it was absolutely, I'm so pleased with myself, absolutely delicious. So we'll have some more of that. I also tend to make far too much. I always get these ingredients and I look in the basket and I think, oh, it doesn't look very much there, you know? And I tend to buy too much and then I make it. And of course, once you add all the ingredients together, that bulks it all out, doesn't it? So there must be there's another 2 or 3 dinners in that pot. So I shall be having that probably a little bit tonight before I disappear. Oh, mind you, it's a Sunday. I'm off tonight, actually. At the moment, this is my last Sunday off. I'll tell you about that in a second. And I should probably have a little bit of that tonight as well. So very, very tasty. Very tasty indeed. Now, talking of Sundays, I'm about to start a brand new quiz night, boys and girls. I shall be hosting a quiz night on Sunday nights at Belushi's in Hammersmith. OK, we're going to give that a go for the next few months and see what happens. All right, so brand new quiz night if you want to join in. It's only £1 to enter the quiz. We've got some very nice prizes, most of which revolves around alcohol. In fact, I think they all revolve around alcohol at the moment. We might throw a few other little bits and pieces in now and again. OK, but the quiz night is at Belushi's from July the 10th, Sunday July the 10th. Belushi's in Hammersmith from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. So I know it's 3 hours worth, but it's not like 3 hours worth of questions. We're going to do a round that you can go and get a drink, do another round, get a drink, and so on and so forth. We've got various questions, and there's a music round and there's a picture round as well. OK, so brand new quiz night at Belushi's in Hammersmith from Sunday, July the 10th. That's next Sunday from 7 p.m. in the evening, right? Every Sunday. OK. I'll tell you what, I've just got the list. Excuse me, I get a list of hymns every week. You know, I play the church organ, St Joseph's in Roehampton, 11 o'clock Mass every Sunday. And I get this list of hymns and I look through it and I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to hymn playing. I don't like all these tambourines and maracas and all that business coming out. I mean, it's all right for a karaoke night. I mean, we have all that out on karaoke. I've got tambourines and everything else. But not at a church, you know. I just feel a mass should be church organ, loud hymn at the beginning, loud hymn at the end, and you know, some little bits and pieces. Quiet hymn for communion, medium sort of paced hymn for the offertory, and sometimes the sung mass as well. But he keeps throwing hymns at me that I've never heard of in my life. Yeah, modern ones, and I just don't like them. They're more like songs. There's no real reverence to them, you know. I just anyway, and he throws these down. And because I don't read music very well, I can just about get away with a top line, but I really don't read music very well. And playing a keyboard, whether it's a church organ or piano, you know, you've got like 4 notes usually if there's chords going on, you know, on the slave, and I have trouble seeing all those 4 at the same time. Nothing to do with my eyesight, I just don't see them in my head. And I often wonder whether I should have taken up, or could do now I suppose, I should have taken up another instrument like a violin or something like that, where you've only got that top line to deal with. When you're playing piano, there's several notes to all be played at the same time. And I don't know why, I just don't seem to be able to cope with that. And apart from that, I wish he'd choose hymns that we know. And when he does choose a hymn, it seems to be played on it's the same hymns every week. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to stay at that particular church. I might try and find another one closer to home, and because it's a bit of a journey as well, to be honest. It's 45 minutes there, usually. That's going quite quickly. And then coming back, it can be an hour and a half coming back sometimes because of the traffic. And sometimes I haven't got back here, you know, and it's not a short mass either. You know, it doesn't seem to be a normal length mass. There's always something extra that makes it go on. 11 o'clock mass can go on sometimes 12:15, 12:30. I've come out of there at 20 to 1 before. And I don't understand how it keeps getting longer and longer. And I'm not, you know, this is the church I grew up in. And I think you always, like, relate to the first priest that you ever was in contact with, and who died many years ago, a great man called Father Symes. And I relate everything to him. Oh, it wasn't like that when so-and-so was here, and all that business. And I don't know, I don't feel like I get on with that particular priest so much. The people, fantastic, lovely people, but he's got his own ways, and I don't know, maybe that's the wrong thing to say. There's an email address if you want to join in at any time. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Vicky has sent in an email. Who's, oh, by the way, can you hear the water in the background? I'm watering something over there. I was going to turn the water off, but it kind of sounds therapeutic, I think is the word. Can you hear it? Lovely, isn't it? It's like having a fountain in the garden. Wouldn't it be nice to have one of those fountains in the garden? And Vicky, who I haven't heard from for quite a while, so I did drop her a note, and she's written back. I said, where are you? And she says, hi, Chris. No worries, and thanks for asking. What happened is that I caught a summer cold. Achoo! Sorry, I wasn't sneezing in your face. That was a pretend sneeze. Don't worry, you haven't got to back away from the computer or your iPhones. I caught a summer cold a few weeks ago and even had to take a few days off work. Well, that must have been a bad cold, Vicky. It was a wicked cold and it really knocked me out. I find that I do everything I need to do during the day, but when I get home from work, sometimes I don't even turn on the computer. Mostly when I got home at night, I just cough and stare into space and take naps. Oh, I'm boring. So sometimes I have to catch up on a couple of shows at once. Okay, fair enough now. I was worried about you, my love. I like the new format and am especially happy to see you in the garden again, as indeed I am this afternoon. Katie had me laughing the other day when you were trying to wedge your leg into that bandage, which I've still got on, incidentally. I've still got my bandage on the leg. There it is. Bandage still on leg. She kept staring at you and shaking her head in disbelief. Funny thing is, she's not here today. I'm not quite sure. She was asleep, actually, on the floor in the kitchen. I bought some new pillows the other day, so if I buy something new and soft, I always give the old one to the cat, you see. And she was asleep on there a little while ago. I laughed till I coughed. That's horrible, isn't it? Laughing and like that when you try and laugh. And I love the idea she bought you a present of the feathered variety the other day. Yes, she certainly did. But it was still flapping while it was in her mouth. Years ago, I knew people with 2 Siamese cats named Gin and Tonic, lovely, great names, who would bring snakes into the house as present, live snakes. They love us, don't they? It's their way of saying they love us. My cat Toby is an indoor cat. He has claws but stays indoors, so no presents for me. Oh dear. But he has been getting up to mischief lately. Yesterday when I was at work, he broke into the kitchen cabinet that has my dog food. My fault, I'd forgotten to lock the cabinet up when I left for work, and threw a couple of things down onto the floor, including a plastic container of dog food. I can only guess that when the container of kibble hit the kitchen floor, it must have popped open and spilled all over. But there was not as much kibble on the floor as you would think. Given the height from which it fell, which makes me think he ate most of the kibble that got loose. Well, that's the idea, isn't it? They want that kibble. Fortunately, he seems to have survived this fine. Honey, my dog, was a little freaked out, and I've got a picture of her dog. She did send a picture of her cat as well, but for some reason that didn't print out properly. She's got a beautiful dog, looks a little bit... I'm not quite sure. It looks a little like one of those dogs that looks like an old man, you know? Beautiful, beautiful dog. Honey, my dog, was a little freaked out to smell the dog food everywhere on the kitchen floor, but no kibble in sight. The cat's eating it all, isn't she? With a cat and a dog in the house, there is always some craziness going on, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Attached, please find recent photos of my Toby and Honey. Toby seems to about write you a letter, and Honey has just returned from the groomer and is still wearing a bow on her collar. Lots of love from Vicky. Thank you. It's lovely to hear from you, Vicky. And that beautiful dog you got. Oh, you don't send your dog with bows and things. Oh, honestly, Vicky, what are you like? That's it from the show today. Thanks very much for watching and listening. More emails in the next show, boys and girls. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and there's a brand new music mix if you want to download that. Costs you 80p, and you can find that at chrisreardonshow.co.uk. chrisreardonshow.co.uk. Happy Sunday to you. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.